this in prime time, under the bright lights for you on the sidelines, and fans in the stands keeping doubly pride high. The gridiron fly guys, the green and the gold, yeah, they call it the franchise. The gizmos, the miles, the moves, the Keflies, old spaghetti legs, Ricky Ray, Willie Bless, and whoever comes next to bring back the chip and add another brick to the legacy. Cause it's double E over everything. Double E is a legacy. Double E over everything. Double E, we rising up.
My buddy, former member of the Double E, Taylor Inglis, is in the house.
What's up, Jay?
How are you doing, buddy?
Doing really well. Happy to be here. Excited.
I'm very happy that you're here as well. And we got Brendan working behind the ones and twos. I learned that yesterday. Is that correct, Brendan? Did I introduce you properly?
Sure.
As the operator of the ones and twos.
I hate to admit it live on air, but we missed your entire intro. We just got Taylor there. I didn't have the mics working proper.
Brett, okay.
The song was working great, but the mics weren't picking up. But
that's okay.
We got it all sorted out now.
Hey, when's the last time you did this?
April.
Okay, you are given a grace period here.
About 30 seconds is all I need.
Let's restart it.
And sometimes you got to have faith.
Let's do it again.
Yeah?
Screw it. We'll do it.
All right, let's do it.
Why not? You ready? You play the song, fade her out, because I wrote a really good intro.
You did.
I thought
I was impressed. Can we please do that again?
Sorry, dude. I was fired up. Over here hitting buttons, just scrambling.
Usually Maddie writes the intro and does that, and I'm like, I gotta try to be like Matt. And here we didn't get it all. So let's just run it back. We did this earlier this week on the Reed Wilkins show. We're gonna run it back.
I am curious. Was that a ChatGPT intro?
Hell no.
That was all Jay Milne?
Brother, that was me sitting here on the keyboard, a keyboard warrior myself. So Brendan, are you ready?
We're ready.
Do it.
Double E over everything. They do this in prime time, under the bright lights for you on the sidelines, and fans in the stands keeping doubly pride high. The gridiron fly guys, the green and the gold, yeah, they call it the franchise. The gizmos, the miles, the moves, the Keflies, old spaghetti legs, Ricky Ray, Willie Bless, and whoever comes next to bring back the chip and add another brick to the legacy. Cause it's double E over everything. Double E is a legacy. Double E over everything. Double E, we rising up.
The Hamilton Ticats coming to Edmonton on a hot streak. They're off to their best start since 2019 and have won 5 in a row to keep pace atop the East with Montreal. Bo Levi Mitchell has been a major part of their recent success as he enters the week as the CFL's leading passer with over 2,200 yards. Can the Elks defense hold up and limit the effectiveness of the impressive Hamilton offense? Can Cody Fajardo build off of last week's start and pull off a major upset down at Commonwealth? We will soon find out. It's the Ticats at the Double E, 1 p.m. kickoff. But first, it's the Green and Gold Kickoff Show, take 2, with me, Jay Milne, and guest host, my friend, my former teammate, former Grey Cup winner with the Double E, Taylor Inglis, is in the house. So give a thumbs up for Taylor. Taylor, how you doing, buddy?
Doing really well, Jay. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so what happened here? Maddie's off today. He had something that was been booked for a while. He's at a friend of his wedding. So, you can't make it all, right? Nope. You can't do it all. So we were looking, and it's a long weekend, and a lot of the guys, there was nobody that could really fill in. And so we were talking, and I said, well, I know some people. I know some people that played for this team. So I sent you a text, and I was surprised because I know you're a busy guy. You're You're very busy. You like your family time as well. But it worked out well.
Did.
To say the least. So Taylor Inglis is joining us here on the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. Taylor, tell everybody that's watching, listening. Oh, and by the way, you can take us in on YouTube. You can find us at edmontonsportstalk.com, the TuneIn, iHeartRadio apps. You can listen to us everywhere at any time. So we appreciate you listening. If you are listening, hammer that thumbs up and help us spread the good word about Edmonton Sports Talk. But for right now, Taylor, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I just want to start by saying thank you. I'm happy to be your plan C or D or E or whatever it ended up being.
Hey, man, you were the first text they sent.
Well, hey, 1 of 1. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
And you're batting 1,000 too, so way to go.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
My story, born and raised here in Edmonton, played college at the U of A, played a season for the Edmonton Wildcats, and played 6 with the Green and Gold, and won in Winnipeg, and won a Grey Cup in 2005, my rookie season. And retired as an Eskimo in 2011. Well, 2012 after the 2011 season.
Now, that first year you came in was 2005.
Correct.
Where you guys went on to win a Grey Cup.
Yes.
I was looking through the team picture from that season, and I had to chuckle because in that picture is a very young Taylor Inglis. There's some, Hall of Famers in that picture. But there's 2 people in particular, in Ed Hervey and Chris Morris, that were both teammates of yours.
Yep.
Now, obviously, Chris Morris is the president of the club and Ed Hervey is the GM. So when the press conferences started happening, we were all there. We figured there was change happening with the new private ownership of Larry Thompson. Chris was announced as the president. Then we figured Ed Hervey would be announced as the GM. But during those press conferences, they talked about the Double E culture, okay, and what it was like for them back then, and they wanted to, bring back that culture, those winning ways. You better than anybody could speak to what exactly that means. So, what does that mean when I say that to you, that they want to bring back that culture?
Well, honestly, I think it's a mentality and a way that they approach not only the game, but the team, the organization, the community. I'll give you an anecdote. When I found out that I made the roster in 2005, we had a team unveiling event at a spot here in the West End, and Ed Hervey, AJ Gass, and Seymour Mobley pulled me aside and they said, "Okay, kid." And I was 21. I was the youngest player in the league. I could barely grow a beard or facial hair at that time, and I'm looking at Sean Fleming, 15 years, Chris Morris, 15 years. And these guys are legends. And I grew up in Edmonton watching them play. So for them to kind of, pull me aside and say, "Listen, we do things differently here. And we want to show you how we do things." So there are things in terms of how you carry yourself in the city, how you engage with the community, how you represent the club on the field and off the field that you have to be aware of. And so right from day one for me, it was, this is different. This is special. And you need to get on board here and embrace what this is. And of course, I was an Eskimo fan. I bled green and gold before I ever played for the squad. So it was pretty unique for me to get that intro, especially from those guys. Those were legends. And I still talk to Ed and Chris all the time, frankly. And when you talk about those announcements and those press conferences, there was a lot of chatter for that leading up to those
within the alumni,
the community in general. There were people that were looking for change, and Chris and Ed, in my opinion, and in my experiences with them as teammates and Grey Cup champions, they are the right guys. They were the stewards for the culture, the Double E, the Green and Gold, the Evil Empire, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. They were the faces of that organization. They were what that represented. They embodied that. And so for them to be able to come back in a senior leadership position within the organization without potentially a pivotal time, like you talked about, new ownership coming in, I think they have got a real opportunity. Now, that's not to say that they don't have the work cut out for them,
right?
Because they do.
They do, clearly. I mean, this team has been struggling thus far in for this season. They brought in and they signed Trey to a 3-year deal. Trey Ford has not lived up to the hype. Now, there are some that'll say, well, he's not been given the proper opportunity. I've just, from what I've seen from Trey Ford, it's just not there right now. Now, that doesn't mean it can't come over the years. He's a young guy. I mean, you look at Cody Fajardo, he's 33, right? So there's a definite age gap there. But so are you of the belief that just wait, give this some time, let it marinate, and ultimately the vision that Chris has, the vision that Ed has should come to fruition?
With Trey specifically, or with their vision as a whole? Just
their vision, however they see it.
Yeah. To me, it's like, hey, you need to give Ed and Chris a couple of years minimum. And honestly, when you're turning around an organization, you need that grace period regardless. You can't go in there and after the first 6 games go, fuck, pardon me, throw the baby out with the bathwater, because that's not the situation here. Now, with Trey specifically, I mean, he's a heck of an athlete. He's a Canadian quarterback. I think he's had some success, but you could make the argument that he hasn't had the opportunity. Now, that said, he has.
Right.
He started in this league. He's played. And the statistics aren't there to support, continuing to put him in a starting role. And, I've played in systems or I've been a part of teams with, multiple quarterback systems where they complemented each other. And potentially that's what you can do here with Trey and Cody. Cody's definitely more of a conservative sort of traditional drop back passer. He's a veteran and he knows how to read defenses and he can see the plays unfolding, where I don't think Trey has that experience yet. And you see him take off running because that's where his safety is. He's comfortable on his feet and he's pretty deadly.
Yeah.
But, the one quarterback I look at when I compare Trey's running capabilities, I see flashes of old Henry Burris. And Henry was the starter for the Stamps for basically my entire career, and he killed us.
Yeah.
And I used to just hate when he tucked the ball and run because he was such an athlete, but he could also then drop back and throw,
dimes,
50-yard bombs.
He had a strong arm.
So, that element of Trey's game isn't there yet. And it's not to say that he can't get there because he's a talented athlete, but he's got work to do for sure.
Well, that's just wanted to get your take on it because, I mean, you've been with them. You've been around them as teammates. So to see them in this role is it must be encouraging for you. And hopefully for all of, Double E fans. Brennan, are we running on the audio stream? Says we are. Did you text Maddie? Okay. They say the iHeart and tune is Whale and the Wolf. We'll figure it out. We'll get through it. It's all good. Do you want to get to the depth charts then, Brennan? Okay, so there's been some changes for Edmonton for sure. Where's my depth chart now? There it is, Taylor. Wow, look at you. Yeah. You're a professional. It was under there. I came prepared. Obviously, Cody Fajardo is getting his second start in a row for the Double E. Not much else has changed on offense except Zach Mathis at wide receiver is out. Victor has taken the spot there, who by all accounts has been impressive throughout camp, throughout the start of the season. So he's getting a shot to jump into the lineup. The biggest changes is on the defensive side of the ball for the Double E, as Nick Anderson is out. Joel DeBlanco has taken his spot at weak side linebacker. There was a switch between Logan Jr. is now coming back to his normal position at strong side linebacker, and Jalen Garnes is returning back to safety. So that's something to watch. J.J. Ross is making his second start in a row at the weak side cornerback. I thought he had an impressive game last week. So, we're going to get into our 3 points for the game and our 3 topics. The defense is definitely going to be one of them that we're going to discuss to see if last week was a one-off or if this is maybe a defensive group that's starting to come together and gel. Oh, Reed Wilkins says it's good now, Brendan. We're all good. And gel.
Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan's on it, man. You can stay away for 6 months. It wouldn't, give it a year, Brendan. You can come back here and run this like nobody's business.
Well, if you were with the Eskimos right now, they'd let you know you have your job for another week.
Okay, now over to the other side where we're going to look at the Hamilton Tiger Cats depth chart. Do you have that one, Brennan? No real changes for Hamilton. I mean, you've got Kenny Lawler is tearing up the league. Bo Levi Mitchell is...
Well, Levi is having a career season. And
he's having a year, bud.
14th year. That's impressive.
I don't know how he keeps doing it, but right now he's leading the league in passing with over 2,200 yards. I just don't understand that. How, because a year and a half ago, Bo Levi looked like he might be getting pushed out of Hamilton.
Yeah.
And now to be thrust into possible MOP conversations is incredible. So that's to me, Bo Levi Mitchell is a big key to this game if they can stop him. They've got Verisuk at middle linebacker and Stavros Katsantonis at safety, former UBC product. I love watching this guy play, man.
Oh, yeah?
He's downhill.
Just like you?
Yeah, baby. He likes to lay people out. So that's something to watch in the secondary. For some reason, every time Stavros Katsantonis plays against the Double E, it's problems. He disrupts things. So keep an eye out for number 30 there down the middle of the field. As we get to our weather, you know who I checked in with? I had to check in with my guy, Josh Clausen.
Josh, what's he saying?
CTV chief meteorologist Josh Clausen says forecast looks great. Sunny with a few clouds. Temperature near 28 or 29 through the game. Light wind. And he added this. That silly boy. And a guaranteed Elks W.
Love it.
Wow. Josh Clausen bringing the rain. No, well, bringing the sun. Yeah, but he's bringing the heat with an Elks W prediction. Very good for him. As we get into the injury report, as mentioned, Nick Anderson is out and Zach Mathis is out. Those are the two, big changes to people that are out of the lineup. But Robbie Smith is back in at defensive end, albeit Robbie Smith hasn't done anything this year.
No.
Most of that D-line has not done much.
They've struggled.
There was signs of hope last week. They were able to get pressure 4-man because, as I've said several times on this show, when they bring the blitz, A, it's ineffective or it has been ineffective, and B, it's exposed weaknesses in their coverage.
Yeah.
So if they can get a 4-man front that can get pressure on Bo Levi Mitchell, that would be a great start. They did. Brinkman and Serezna were able to get to Trevor Harris a bit last week, and that throws off a quarterback that does not use their legs all that well, which Bo Levi Mitchell's not really known for.
Well, he seems to be getting into it a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you,
why not? It's reverse aging, right?
Right. So, and maybe that's part of the reason why he's having such great success this season is because he's learning to stretch his legs out a little bit. But at the end of the day, also it's a different offensive line. Hamilton's got a pretty good O-line.
They do.
And so, our boys up front, our dogs up front are going to have to get after him. So it'll be an interesting afternoon for sure.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if that defense can disrupt, if that defense can continue to build off of what was a fairly decent effort last week. I mean, they held Saskatchewan to 21 points.
Yep.
Taylor, if you hold a team to 21 points in the CFL, you should win most of those games.
Yes.
In theory.
Yes.
Right?
If you were making a wager based on statistics, you would say that, yeah. But I would also offer that it's the CFL and anything goes. Any given day.
Any given day. Okay. This game is happening down at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth. And Play Alberta, as you know, presents Edmonton Sports Talk. So Maddie and Jay put together a big play of the game yesterday.
Oh,
over at playalberta.ca, you go to EST specials and you will see Jay and Matt's actually I wanted to, because we do this for every game. I wanted it to say Jay, Matt, and Taze, or Matt, Jay, and Taze play the game, but they wouldn't change it.
That's disappointing.
There's too many copyrights.
Well, I think for my next appearance, we can probably make something.
I think we'll have to. Yeah, we might have to just 3-man this one time and just get you right here in the middle. This is fun.
That'll be all right.
Jay and Matt's big play of the game. If you want to get on it, you'd have to get on it in the next 40 minutes because obviously this closes at 1 o'clock. But it's Ticats, Elks, 50-plus points. So over 50. Cody Fajardo, 250-plus passing yards. And Justin Rankin, 45-plus rushing yards, which we're going to get into. I know you got stuff to say about that. And Stephen Dunbar, 4 or more receptions. So this is a 4-leg parlay, baby, but it's
that.
plus 405.
I'll take that.
$10 would bring you back over $40. I mean, Brendan, in this economy, that's a good deal.
It's almost rent.
There you go. Well, you put enough on it. But as always, use your game sense. Don't get carried away. But if you do want to join and take part in Jay and Matt's play of the day, you can find that over at playalberta.ca. Click on sports, click on ESC specials, and you'll see it right there. Okay, it's time to get into our 3 topics. Taylor, I just want to know what you think, what your thoughts are on Cody Fajardo. Getting his second start. We talked about the struggles that Trey Ford had earlier. I think the team had noticed it. No choice.
No, I don't think so either.
But they brought in Cody Fajardo for exactly this reason.
Yep.
In case of emergency, pull, shoot, and up jumps Cody Fajardo. Because he's a seasoned quarterback. Yep. He's an experienced veteran quarterback, pocket passer, something that this team needs. Last week, I thought he fared pretty well. 26 to 33, 346 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Hey, with those stats, you should be winning ball games.
You should be. Now, they only had 4 points at half.
Yeah.
Okay. So, last week struggles, but Cody Fajardo and Trey Ford split reps throughout
This week?
last week. No,
last week. Cody had them all this week.
this week, Cody had all the first team snaps. How much do you think that's going to make a difference into the comfort level he has with his entire offense?
Huge. Absolutely. I mean, and you're right. He's a veteran guy coming off the sidelines. He's done this before, seen this before. And you're right. He was brought in for that purpose. So I expect him to come in game 2 here after a full week of practice with his squad and be impactful. I mean, he's again, last week was 360
346 yards.
346.
You're taking that any day.
Any day. Right. So what you need is a defense that can keep your offense on the field, keep points off the board. And, I think Cody can be effective for sure.
Taylor, we talked about this, and I know that this is something you're going to talk about later, and it might even be your key to the game. But I want some insight here, man, because I'm having a struggle with this. People that are regular listeners, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in and listening, watching on YouTube, iHeart, TuneIn app, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We appreciate it. They know what I'm about to say. And I think this offense is nothing if you cannot run the damn ball.
Got to run the ball. Absolutely.
And I mean, last week, between Javon Leake and Justin Rankin, I mean, these are game changers. Javon Leake was put on the gun and registered the fastest time running a scoring touchdown last season. Faster than Tyreek Hill. Faster than Xavier Worthy.
Guy's a weapon.
Faster than the speediest speedsters in the NFL. And you can't find a way to get this guy some damn touches?
Well, you got to get him the ball, but the other part of that is you got to get blocking up front. You got to have holes for him, right? You can be the fastest tailback in all of football ever, but if there's no holes for you to run, you're not going to pick up many yards. So
exactly. Now, you cut your teeth and had a fine career as a long snapper, but you're also a defensive lineman.
There's D-end, and I played a little bit of center as well, but not obviously for the Eskimos.
Some would call you a bit of a Swiss Army knife. You know that.
Don't get called that very often.
No, but so you play D-line. You know what's going on. I'm sick of seeing this zone running scheme that they try to, hey, here's the ball. It's a run pass option. I get that. I don't mind that. You're trying to, disguise what you're doing. But there doesn't seem to be any what I call planned runs. I have not seen one counter from this offense. And as a defender, as a defensive lineman, when you have misdirection,
that's frustrating.
It's frustrating. But why aren't they taking advantage of that? What's the hardest thing for a D line to cover? Like, why is this so simple for people like you and me to see, but they don't seem to be doing it in the game?
Well, I think there's a couple of things going on. I mean, from a pure run call standpoint, you have to have confidence in your O-line to go out one-on-one and block. And if you don't, then you start bringing in misdirections and the pass run read. They haven't really had a lot of success with that either. So if that's their attempt at the run game and they know that they can't run between the tackles, or that they haven't really had a lot of success doing that, you end up throwing the ball a lot, and you need somebody like Cody to stand back there and throw it.
Now, I just have thought, they brought in David Beard. They've got Mark Cordy. They got Ivy. They got Boyko. Brett. Like, these are good old linemen. So is it something, because this is a little bit different than last year. Is it something you think that as this team goes along, that this O-line can maybe gel
Absolutely.
a bit more and communication can, be more defined?
Absolutely. And that's what happens as you sort of solidify your group going through the season is you understand how somebody is going to move or what their blocking looks like and how you guys are going to double team and scrape off to the backers and become a real effective run blocking offensive line. So it does take time for sure. And, traditionally early in the season, defenses are far more effective than offenses and vice versa later on in the year once the offenses find their groove.
Right. And we had Cody Fajardo on the Reed Wilkins show, I think week 2 or 3, maybe week 4. And he said just that. He says, oftentimes you'll find in the CFL, the teams that have the least turnover from the prior year get off to the best, fastest start. Whereas the team that has the most change, and like Edmonton, I mean, the defense is entirely different.
Yeah.
The offense, especially on the O-line, is different. And those are the two areas, lo and behold, Taylor, that are struggling the most. So I guess, is this, that is something in your, opinion that Cody said it takes a little bit of time to gel?
100%. Absolutely. You need to be able to create a trust and a bond with the guys playing next to you, right? You need to know how quickly they're going to move, what reads they're going to make. Like when you really gel with your guys, what they're going to do before they're doing it, right? And and they're not there yet. And I think they can. I think they can get there. I think they will get there. I mean, you see the improvement week over week. I think they got an opportunity here. You and I touched on before the show a little bit, the schedule, the travel schedule. I think there's an opportunity here for the boys at home to sneak out a win against a good Hamilton team.
Well, let's dive right into that. That was another point that we had here was this travel. And I want your take on it, all of it, because look, the honest truth is that Hamilton played in BC, which is that way, west. They played last Sunday night in a thrilling finished game. Yep. Flew back to Hamilton, right? But that's got to be a 5-6 hour,
4 and change,
right?
Yeah.
Took Monday off. They gave the players Monday off, so they practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then flew out to Edmonton again here yesterday. So that's back and forth across Canada in 6 days. Does this come into play at all today, Taylor?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a couple of things. I think that obviously cross country travel and the time zones on a short week make a difference. Playing Sunday and then turning around and playing Saturday or on a 6-day week. I think likely the Ticats said, hey, why don't you guys take Monday off because you've won the last 5 games in a row. You guys are firing on all cylinders right now. We don't need to get you in for day 1 practice here. We didn't get our hats handed to us, so they've got a little confidence in that. But, I've been on teams where we had road swings like this, where we played Hamilton, Toronto back-to-back or Toronto, Montreal back-to-back on short weeks. And we actually stayed out for the week. And so I'm kind of surprised that Hamilton wouldn't have done that, to be honest. Like if you play Sunday night in Vancouver, stay Sunday night in Van Monday, or maybe fly to Edmonton Monday or Sunday night, but sometimes Sunday, Monday. And then you've got a couple days here. You're used to the travel, or the travel isn't a factor. You're used to the time zone. You've rested your body. You maybe get an extra half day of practice in a day A or something like that. So there are different strategies. I think in this situation, the travel could be a factor. I think their guys could be worn down a little bit. Ultimately home game here for Edmonton. They should be able to take advantage of it.
Well, I mean, they need it. I mean, at this point in the season, and I just want to say, everybody that's sending messages in on the text line, I'm getting them. Chris, it was nice to see you last night as well at the Stingers game. T-Buds, I love you, buddy. Megs, Mikey, Larzy, Collingwood Raw, everybody that's saying thank you. We know that it's up on iHeart, so we thank you. We're going to blame that on the heat. That's what we're going to say. It's a heat issue. The heat is just consuming the audio wave.
Yeah, the rolling blackouts here in the West End.
I mean, it happened in Entourage. It can happen here. I mean, it's the same instance, right?
27 degrees is going to take down the power grid.
Okay, this is the next question then for you. We just talked about the travel. So that we've determined, because I thought it would be an issue as well. Or it can contribute to maybe some mental lapses. Maybe. But here's the thing. Is Hamilton, does this happen in the professional realm of professional football. Does Hamilton look at Edmonton and say,
Oh yeah,
we got this, boys? Like, is that now not maybe in a confident way, Taylor, but in an arrogant way?
yes.
Now, does that also play into something that could come back to bite them in the ass? Because this team, if they get it together, this is a good team. I understand they don't have the depth of receiver, but hey, they can still do the job.
I'll tell you, I think the Ticats coaching staff is veteran enough and experienced enough to look and go, if we don't come correct today here in Edmonton, we're gonna get totaled.
Okay, so they're trying to limit that thought process.
I think so. I mean, Milanovic is a great coach.
He is.
And he knows Fajardo and what he can do. He knows what he can do with a full week. He knows his guys are on a short travel week and they've been bouncing across the country. So, no, I think he keeps them dialed in, and that's part of his strategy here. You can't sleep on the Elks. You can't.
Yeah.
You're going to go in there and take one.
Okay, this defense. This Edmonton defense has been. Well, you know what? Actually, I want to spring something on you here, Taylor.
All right, let's hear it.
I want to have a little before we get into our third topic here. I want to have a little story time.
Oh,
You told me a story, and my jaw almost hit the ground because I couldn't believe it. But first time you played against Hamilton. Take us back to 2005. And people, when you hear this quarterback's name, just think in your, just roll it through for yourself. 2005, Taylor's first game against Hamilton, and the quarterback was?
Danny McManus.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it.
I know. I mean, and like I said, I'm 21. He's probably like 40, 42, somewhere in there with the old face mask.
Oh, that thing was long.
And the loose pants.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really loose. And
They look like joggers.
I was like, this is a different era of quarterback.
This guy's kicking our butts.
And they beat the brakes off us. They just cratered us. And I remembered, and I actually, Jay, I think, to your question earlier, I remember going into that game and going, we're going to roll these guys.
All right.
And we got demolished.
So was that at Ivor Wynn Stadium?
That was at the old Ivor Wynn. When you're in the dugouts underneath the stands and the fans are throwing stuff at you from on top of you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I'd love the CFL experience and playing all these different stadiums and the fan bases, but the fans in Hamilton were something special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Love
real blue collar.
Definitely.
But that's the best.
And honestly, they would give you a hard time all game long, and then they'd be standing there waiting for you after the game, shaking your hands. Hey Taylor, can I get your autograph? It's great.
Right.
So we're gonna kick your butt again. In October.
So who are the worst fans for you in your experiences? Calgary. Hey.
Calgary.
Really?
Yeah, I've had really terrible experiences with the fans there.
What, like?
Just ignorant and disrespectful to friends and family in the stands that were sitting.
Really?
Oh yeah, just silly stuff. Stuff that shouldn't belong.
Oh no.
That's hostile territory. It
is.
It kind of comes with the territory.
Sure.
You're going into hostile territory. That's have you traveled much? You see a lot of NFL games. Every time I go to an NFL stadium, I always buy the shirt.
Me too.
Of the home team. Just
Oakland. I bought a Raiders jersey.
I went to a Raiders game too and bought a Raiders shirt because
we were shopping. Actually, we were in San Francisco, and we went to this mall, and they were playing the Dolphins, and we were looking, and not my wife, but we were with another couple. I think the other guy wanted a Dolphins jersey, and sure they have all these. I bought a Nnamdi Asomugha. Yep. Remember the cornerback? I bought a 21 Asomugha jersey, and the person that was helping us. Like they had a clerk or whatever, and the guy, my buddy asked, he's like, "Hey, where are the Dolphins jerseys?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And my guy's like, "Well, we're going to the game tomorrow. I wanted to," and he's like, "You're not from here. Do not wear a Dolphins jersey." And I say, "Yeah, sure. That's okay." And he's like, "No,
you don't get it."
I'm like, serious. If you wear a Dolphins jersey, you go into the wrong bathroom at the wrong time. You're not coming out with all your,
100%.
So we bought Raiders jerseys.
As you should.
But okay, so Calgary, huh? Calgary.
Hey, listen, that was my experiences. And I'm biased. I'm born and raised in Edmonton. There's always been a rivalry between the two cities. Although I will say I don't understand that. We should have a little more brotherly
Taylor,
relationship.
that's too nice. What's going on?
I'm a proud Alberta boy. I love Calgary, love Edmonton. Love the small towns around here too. I don't find it's fun. It needs to be a fun rivalry, not a disrespectful one.
Fair enough. Now I want you to reach into your little tickle box there. Okay, here's the thing. We're gonna at EST we like to pull back the covers a bit and just get into it. And by the way, this guy, hey?
Oh yeah,
he's listening.
T-Bud, what's up, pal?
Shout out to T-Buds. I gave Taylor I was here at about 11. Brennan was here. Taylor came at about 11:15. I printed out the stats for Taylor. I gave him to him for about 10 minutes. And he said, oh boy, we've got problems. So this is brilliant because I just hope this gives you the insight into somebody that's been there and played at that level, how soon you can look at something and say, oh, this stands out. So Taylor he's like, give me a highlighter, baby. I got to go. So what'd you find, Taylor? Like just wherever you want to go, bounce off whatever wall, the things that struck out to you in the stats package from this week pertaining to obviously today's game.
Well, we've been talking about defense, so let's stick to that. We're last in the league in sacks with 4. We're last in the league with pass knockdowns at 13. We're third last with tackles for loss at 7, and we have 0 forced fumbles and 1 interception on the season. So
you know who got that interception? The D lineman, Jake Serezna.
That's right.
It went off of an opponent's team's helmet.
That's right.
And fell into his hands. That's the 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery, 4 sacks. All of those are CFL lows.
Yes.
That says a lot.
It does. I mean, and, obviously you look, those are sort of the key statistics categories you look at, and overall ranked 9th, no surprise there. And the record, I don't think that the 1-5 record demonstrates the quality of the club and the potential of the club, and I think where we're going. But you can certainly look at these stats and go, yeah, that 1-5 record makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Right. And there's, some other offensively points for, points against, the ratio, the differentials are pretty significant. For Hamilton, they're 32 points a game. Edmonton's 22. Hamilton's offensive points 28.4. Edmonton's 21. The points allowed. Edmonton's last, while giving up the 31.8 a game, or 31.8 points a game. Like there's a lot of stats here that if you look at Edmonton and Hamilton statistically, there's a pretty big delta there. But all these other variables that we've talked about, Cody coming in here, a full week of practice, the travel, some of the ins and the outs on the roster. I'm hopeful that the stats aren't going to tell the tale of the tape here this afternoon. I think the boys are going to come out fired up. I think there's a couple other really good variables that are working in their favor. So I'm hopeful that we're going to have a pretty entertaining game this afternoon.
Well, when you look at the stats like that and you break it down numbers wise, you can't argue with those numbers. They are what they are.
They are.
Those numbers have no feelings. They don't show emotion. It's raw.
Yep.
So for this game, I'm sorry, but if Edmonton is going to win this game, something's got to change there. And I think the only way that they can win this game is if somehow Hamilton allows them to win the game. If Bo Levi Mitchell is not setting the earth on fire, if he has an off day, now I'll say it. If the front 4 can get to Bo Levi Mitchell, and he's been sitting back in that pocket pretty comfy. If somehow they can dial that up and get aggressive and make Bo Levi Mitchell move around, I think they have a chance. I think it comes down to Bo Levi Mitchell. If Bo Levi Mitchell comes out and does what he's been doing, I'm sorry, this team just doesn't have the horses to run with them. Am I right?
Yeah, you are. I think the secondary here for the Double E is in tough, especially if Bo Levi comes out and he's swinging.
Yeah.
And if he's running and throwing, we could have a problem on our hands. Now, to me, I think, the Eskimo or the Elks, getting the run game going. They got to set up Fajardo to throw the ball by running the ball.
Yes.
Right. And you got to get
Preach.
You got to get Hamilton's defense on their heels a bit, not knowing what they're going to be doing at 1st and 10 or 2nd and 7, right? Like if you can run the ball effectively at 2nd and medium and get yourself to 1st down or into 3rd and short, I think you got an opportunity to stretch the field a little bit on the next series or the next set of downs, right? So, I think to me, one of the keys to the game is to get our running game going.
Well, yeah, if I'm looking back here from last week's game, they had, this is the double E I'm talking about. 1, 2, 4 drives that were more than a 2-and-out.
Yeah,
4.
There's a statistic I have on here as well. I pointed out, and they have the highest amount of 2-and-outs of any team in the league.
By far.
By a
It's bad.
country mile.
Yeah. I mean, you look on the other side, Saskatchewan had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drives that were more than a 2-and-out. So, and especially today, I mean, it is not cold outside. It is hot. Yep. Now, I'm not saying that, that's going to be the tail of the game, but especially today, getting your offense to sustain drives.
Yeah, wear the defense down, run the ball, pound it down their throat.
Yes.
Keep them on the field.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Get me fired up. This is going to be a fired up viewing of the
I'm excited
of the game here, because Taylor, I feel like they're listening to you right now, man. They might have this pumping right into the coach's room. Maybe Jordan Maximic's sitting there right now listening. He's like, man, Taylor's right. I got to run it down their throats.
Yeah. Just
now,
tote that rock and kill him if you can hear me. Run the ball.
Run the damn ball.
Set up the bomb by running the ball down the middle.
Beautiful. It's poetic. Taylor, you just said a name that you're very familiar with, Mark Killam.
Yeah.
You played with him at the University of Alberta as a Golden Bear. Go Bears, right?
Go Bears. Go
Bomb.
Bears.
That was Brotherhood of Mean Bears. That's
right.
what we were and still are. But we're nice to each other and nice to Brennan.
And just, did you know that we had Bone when I was playing for the Eskimos? We were the Brotherhood of Nasty Eskimos.
Brotherhood of Nasty Eskimos. That's what Jed always has. Yeah.
Bone.
Did you play with Jed Roberts?
No.
He was
before my time.
He was before your time.
Yeah.
Okay. But you would have played with AJ Gass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I played a couple of years with AJ. AJ was one of a kind. I love that guy.
Because he's now, I think, the linebacker coach with the Bears.
I believe he is.
Yeah. Okay. Mark Killam.
Yes.
Played with him at the Bears. I mean, you were a special teams guy.
Yeah.
So he was a special teams coordinator.
Yeah, forever. We had a great bond. When obviously Edmonton and Calgary, we played each other, no less than 4 times a year. So we would see each other all the time, meet at midfield and chalk it up.
I've seen some really good things from Mark that I would say, wow, as a first-year head coach in the CFL, that took a lot of stones to do what you just did. One of them being to pull Trey out and put Cody Fajardo in. I spoke to Ed Hervey about that, and I said, okay, whose call is it? When you're contemplating a quarterback change, he says, well, it's all mine. This is Ed saying this. And I said, okay, so this is your call? He said, no, I didn't have to do anything. So that tells me that Mark Killam made the tough decision. I mean, that's not easy to go with a guy you just signed to a 3-year contract and say, hey, sorry, bud, we're going to put in the other guy who's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, the stats tell the story.
Yeah.
I think you probably, and that's why Ed didn't have to do anything. And let's take a step back to Mark. Mark is the consummate professional. He is a wonderful coach. He is a perfect fit for the culture that Chris and Ed want to create here and are creating here. And Mark will be a key part of that. And I think that's, one of the things that they saw in him when they were going through that interview process is how well he'd fit into what they want to build and what they are building. But
well, I think Mark's been doing a good job. It's hard to see, and I'm sure it's you, because you knew him as a friend, you knew him as a former teammate.
Yeah.
To see this start for this team, especially when they thought they were bringing in the all-star cast that they did in the management office and on the field.
Yeah, and I, again, you're back to your question about the stones that Mark had and to make that decision. Like I said, I think it was a tough call because they had set out Trey as a starter, and that was the horse they chose to ride, and it is a tough decision, especially when you sign him to a multi-year contract. But again, at the end of the day, I think Ed, Chris, and Mark are all great football minds. They see the same thing on the field, and that's where Ed kind of said, "Hey, listen, I didn't have to make this decision.
Yep.
That decision made itself, and there were no issues or dissents from anybody within the organization around it.
No, I agree. I thought that was pretty good. We've got the Hamilton Tiger Cats coming into Commonwealth, play Alberta's Field at Commonwealth, coming up at 1 p.m. That game is going to be on TSN. Farhan Lalji is on play-by-play. Paul Lapolice on color, and our very own Tommy Gazzola.
Tommy,
the most handsome man in broadcasting, is working the sideline, except these two. In the field. He's the most handsome guy at Commonwealth. Well, I think Gager's there today. He's probably the third most handsome man at Commonwealth. We can say that. That's coming up at 1:00. Just some quick hitters here. This series favors Edmonton, 32-19-0 in Edmonton. It's 30-21-1 in Hamilton, but it's 61-39-1 all time to Edmonton. Now, Taylor, here's a stat I've been holding back on. I've been keeping this one.
Oh, hit me with it.
I've been keeping this close to my vest. Would you say we had this disagreement? We had this discussion on the Reed Wilkins show last week. Would you say close to the vest or close to the chest?
Chest.
See, yeah, I think both work.
They do.
But then we had another talk about a fun word. Taken aback. It's not I was taken back. It was I was taken aback. That's commonly misused. I don't know why I got off on this tangent.
I'm not sure how we got here.
We meander sometimes, brother. Cody Fajardo is 6-1 all time versus Hamilton throughout his time in Saskatchewan, his time in Montreal. 6-1 against Hamilton. Does that factor in at all here?
No.
Is that nothing? This is just a
different team.
Empty stat.
Empty stat. It's nice. It's nice. A talking point. It's something that, hey, he's had success against this team in the past. He was playing for an entirely different squad.
Yeah.
With a different coaching staff, the different offenses. It's nice to talk about, but it's not an impact on the game today.
Okay. That's fair enough. Taylor, let's get to a couple different keys to the game. And I know for you, it's probably a simple one, but expand on it as best you can, because I have a different one that's, I think it's the only way this team can win today. But what is your key to the game?
Well, like we talked about earlier, I think getting the run game going is going to be key because it allows them to set up the pass game and get Cody comfortable and start stretching the field a bit. And they need to do that on this defense. They need to get some big plays. They need to stretch the field. They need to get into good field position and not be caught, starting on their own drives, coming out of their own, 5 or 10 yard line. So I think, to me, being able to set up the pass game by getting the run game going early, that is the key for me. And in order to do that, they got to get the Hoggies moving up front. It's funny because I think, we talked about earlier that run pass read play and the misdirection that they're running. They may have to use that as a weapon to set up the run game in the middle as well, right? Because if you're keeping the DNs honest and they're staying home to try and cover that rolling quarterback or that stretch, whatever it is, then there is going to be a gap up the middle. And so if they can find those gaps in the middle early and keep the defense honest and keep them, in the box a bit, it gives Cody the opportunity to stretch the ball down the field.
Spoken like a young John Madden.
No.
Wow. But it's just frustrating, Taylor, to see and just the way you said that, it's exactly what this team needs. Now, I'm starting to question, and you've brought up some really valid points throughout the show here as to, can they execute that? Can they execute a simple run game? I'm starting to think maybe they can't, or they haven't gotten there yet.
They haven't gotten there yet. And I think that's important to note. They can.
Mm-hmm.
I think, anything's possible. You got to put the work in. We will see what happens this afternoon.
Because Justin Rankin is
he's a beast.
He's not bad. He's got a 5-yard average?
Yeah, was it 5.5 or 5.4 yard average?
5.4 yard average, but
he's only gotten 44 touches, right? So he's got less than half the touches of the leading rusher in the league. And if he was getting the ball, would his stats be up?
What did you just say?
So James Butler is currently leading the CFL in yardage at 619. He's got 112 carries. Rankin is second from the bottom with 44 carries, 239 yards, but he's got a 4.5 yard average. And he does have the longest yard rush in the league at 74 yards. So that makes up a significant portion of his yardage. So, again, I think the Elks got to get him the ball a little bit more. It's certainly not the least amount of touches in the league. Ottawa's tailback, Daniel Adibdoboy, has got 35 carries. So I mean, there are certainly teams with less rushes, but I think for the double E, it's important for them to get that run game going early.
Scott, it's like you've got a stallion sitting there in the stable just pawing and saying, "Let me loose." Wow. I just don't understand why they haven't yet, or why they can't get it going. But
you got to get those Hoggies fired up too.
Maybe the Hoggies have their day to shine today. Cody Fajardo, 78.8 completion percentage, moved last week against Saskatchewan, moved his CFL career record total to 71.2%. Cody Fajardo has the highest completion percentage rate in the CFL history. Okay, they need to use that.
Agreed.
They need to push the ball downfield. I mentioned Stavros Katsantonis earlier in the show, the great safety, former UBC product for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I want to see his head spinning because he doesn't know which way to turn. I want them to challenge those seams. They don't do that enough. They haven't done it.
They haven't done it.
They haven't done it.
Because they haven't had a quarterback until last week. They can actually do it.
My man.
So now we got a week of full practice. Game 2 coming in. Let's see what happens.
Because Cody's got the arm to do it.
Yeah, agreed. And he's got the tenacity. He's got the fire.
Yeah, he's got everything.
He's a natural leader.
He's the guy. He can do it. So I think they got to push the ball downfield. I think they got to make. I just love saying Stavros Katsantonis. Make his head spin, because I mean, as a safety, when you're back there and you've got seams coming at you, you've got corner routes, and then, oh, by the way, you've got an underneath route that's just past the linebackers. You're in hell. Yeah, you can't stop all of it at once. So do that. Be a little bit more creative in the pass game. And Taylor, my second key to the game is to come out early and come out often. This team has had good first quarters. But I mean good first quarters where, like versus Ottawa, where you came out and you put 14 points on the board.
Yeah, they got to put points on the board in the first quarter.
Yes, that is a key. If they can somehow get ahead of Hamilton and give them some doubt, maybe a couple early sacks, or heck, I mean, hey, I know it's not Christmas, but we could all dream. Maybe a turnover. Yeah, that would be amazing. If you can have something like that.
Double our season total.
Yeah, it'd be a miracle on August 2nd. If you could do that, have a game-changing event happen early in the game, I think that would help propel and give this team some confidence. Let's face it, Taylor, they're 1-5. They can't be all that confident. They can't be sitting there saying, hey guys, we're this close. At some point, doubt does creep in.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I think that they are still sitting with a bit of a quiet confidence here today. And, if the record slips much more than 1-5, I think then that's story starts to change a bit. But they need to come out with swag today.
This is Custer's last stand today. 100%. I mean, after this, it gets pretty dark.
It gets ugly.
Yeah,
and I think they can do it. What I'm really hoping for, Jay, and I know we talked about this earlier. My first year in Hamilton, going into a tough stadium and playing not a great team, or a team with not a great record, and we got absolutely destroyed. That's what I think the Elks are going to do to the Ticats today.
Woo!
I think the Elks are going to come out swinging. I think they're going to put up at least 10 in the first quarter. I think the defense knows what they got to do. I think you're right. Hamilton may not have a full tank of gas today, and I think the boys are going to take advantage of it.
We'll keep rolling then, because it's prediction time. What do you think? What do you got
from a score standpoint?
Yeah.
I think the Elks are going to roll them. I think it's going to be. I'm going to go with 31-14.
Wow, 31-14 Elks. So that would not be good enough for Jay and Matt's play of the day, over 50 points. So that's okay. That's okay. Hey, Taylor, I would take an Elks win and give up.
Okay, hold on a second.
Jay, Matt, and Tay's play the game.
28-27.
Okay, I like it. This is an alternate score. So I'm going to keep 20. I'm going to keep your 31-14, but I'm also going to keep 28-27. You can have as many guesses as you want. It really doesn't matter. One more. Sure. Let's go for it.
Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
This is going to be the other way. It's going to be 31-10 Hamilton.
Okay. Well, oddly enough, Taylor, I could see 2 of the 3 of these happening.
I know.
And I'm not going to tell you which 2, but I'm sure you know.
You don't have to make a prediction as well.
Well, Maddie never does, but I will.
But you always have to.
I'm an optimist, Taylor. You know this about me. I always look for the beauty in
that's
things.
Why I love you.
And
that's
I
why I'm
try
here,
to.
Jay.
That's why you're here. That's right. Taylor, I'm going to go 38-28 double E.
Oh, I like it.
All right. Brendan, was this fun? It was nice to have you back. I look forward to catching up with you, learning all about what I've missed in the last, 5 months?
Ish.
I mean, you've grown and you've blossomed as a young man.
You have a beard.
And you have he's a good beard guy.
Nice beard.
Big beard guy. Yeah. So we'll catch up. Taylor, this has been great.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you stepping away from the cabin. I know you had to step away from the fam, so I'm going to feed you well. Brendan, food's on me, buddy. Okay. This has been the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. We've got the Hamilton Tiger Cats visiting your Edmonton Elks coming up right now on TSN. Join us right after the show. We're going to break this whole thing down, and I don't know what it's going to be like, but I'm sure interested in finding out. So thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Green and Gold Kickoff Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.